Located in Prince George's County in Maryland, the Merkle Center is an excellent example of designing the experience on a modest budget. Also, the building demonstrates the concept of transitioning, the process of moving visitors to the experience. The center is part of the Merkle Wildlife Sanctuary, which is dedicated to the once endangered Canadian goose. The center was renamed the Frank Oslislo Center in honor of his 32 years of dedicated service with the Department of Natural Resources. The gable of a building reveals its relative size and floor space. The profile view of the center suggests that it is not a particularly large building and that its construction is fairly conventional. In contrast with circular or radial flow, the flow pattern on the second floor is fairly linear. It is characterized as reaching a destination or being dead-ended. The visitor enters the front door. Immediately, their sight is drawn to the large glass wall, which opens up visually to the outdoors. It is spectacular. From there, visitors move down one of the two walkways, through a door, and dead ends outside on the overlooked deck. The visitor needs to retrace their steps back into the building. Functional transitioning is the process of transporting visitors from one experience to another. Thematic transitioning adds themes or metaphorical properties to the experience. Metaphorically, the visitor transitions from society, urban life, and the parking lot to an outdoor experience. The Merkle Center provides the transition. The visitor enters the front door, and as noted, their sight is immediately drawn to the large glass windows, which opens up visually to the outdoors. This is by design. The eye is drawn toward the light before it is drawn to darken areas. Working in conjunction with this principle, the work areas, restrooms, and office form a physical and visual barrier that aids in the transition. There are two murals on the back walls, but they are easily overpowered by the outdoor scene through the wall of windows. Thematically, the two walkways mimic the V pattern of geese flying overhead. The visitor can move down either of the two walkways and outside onto the overlooked decks, or they can take the steps or elevator down to the ground floor observation area. The Merkle Center is not a perfect design. It has some warts. The center was built in 1981 before the passage of the American Disabilities Act. A ramp was added which facilitates access to the second floor entrance, and a switchback extending from the parking lot to the ground floor was installed also. An elevator was installed in the center of the building. Normally, the main control point is at the entrance to the facility. There is a small ticket office with a counter area at the entrance. If used, two people are needed, one upstairs and one downstairs with the gift center. Also, the ranger's main office is distant from the entrance and doesn't have an active control over the entrance. Modern facility design seeks to minimize personnel costs, and the location of the office by the entrance would allow one person to operate the control point and the facility. The Merkle Center is an example of designing the experience on a modest budget. Thematic transitioning helps transition the visitor from society and urban life into the world of nature and the Canadian geese. It does this by attracting the eye to the outdoors and by using barriers to help create the transition. Thematically, the flight of Canadian geese is mimicked in the design of the walkways. The center is an excellent example of designing the experience.